Hello, welcome back to a brand new season of International Corner. I'm joined as every year by Richard Hall. Hi, Richard, how are you?
I'm excited because it's a brand new season, and it's just so good to be back with you. Very good self as well. So, yeah, happy to be back and happy to be doing this, especially talking about what we're going to be today, which is obviously the Champions League.
Champions League today is the eve of the debut in the 2025-2026 campaign. Inter is traveling to Amsterdam to face Ajax. Not many previous encounters, to be fair, in the history of the Champions League, only 5. And we are joined by Amhan, who has been part of 2 of these games. Former Inter, former Ajax from the Netherlands, Andy van der Meyden. How are you, Andy?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you for joining us. So, of course, we're very happy to have you here because this game is a fresh start for everybody. But it's a game that is charged with a lot of things, especially for Kivu, who, of course, was there playing at Ajax, the captain there. But before we get into that, what does this game mean to you? Does it mean anything for you? Because, of course, you've been both sides of...
Well, yeah, of course. It's a special game for me because I played for both teams and I still love both teams. So for me, I cannot lose anyway this game because if Inter win, I'm happy, and if Ajax wins, I'm happy also.
Will you be watching the game at the stadium? What's your
Of
plan?
course, no. I cannot go to the stadium because people want to talk to me all the time. So I stay at home with my wife, and sit on the couch.
Stay at home with your wife on the couch. That's probably what we do. The 3 of us in this room, we're more or less same age. Your birthday is coming up on the 30th of September, Andy. But there's another anniversary we want to celebrate. Richard, do you remember this anniversary that Andy's is about to celebrate tomorrow? Do you remember it?
I'm going to go. You always put me on the spot. I'm going to say that it's the goal against. Is it the goal against Arsenal? Maybe.
Yeah, Andy, do you remember? Tomorrow it marks the day the first goal for Inter against Arsenal. Do you remember that goal?
Of course, I remember this goal. This was, I think, Kili Gonzalez gave the cross, and then somebody hits it with the head, and then it came in my feet. I kicked it directly. It was so hard. The keeper could not. It was Lehmann, I think, the German goalkeeper, and it went in. It was 2-0. It was fantastic. And when I came home, Inter fans put all my house with flags and everything, and so to thank me for the goal against Inter.
So that gave you also the name of Andy van der Goal, so that you know. Do you remember that?
I didn't score a lot of goals, but that was a nice one.
Sorry, Anna. What was it like at Highbury? Because obviously Highbury's gone. San Siro is like a beautiful stadium, and you know the difference between the Amsterdam stadiums. What was it like playing at Highbury?
Well, I knew that it was a perfect pitch. It was amazing, and we played against an amazing team with Henry, Pires, Bergkamp, and we won there. And not a lot of teams win with this big amount, a difference of goals there. So everybody was happy, and I knew that Moratti said to us after the game that we could go to the jewelry the next day, and we could take what we want because we win. So that was nice. I was the first one there in the shop. Yeah, very nice. It was nice to play there. Of course, it's a magic stadium. So a lot of big players play there. And I scored there.
Out of your time here at Inter, what would you think was the best moment, or the moment that sometimes you're there, I know, in your thoughts, still comes up and you think, I remember that was Inter for me?
Well, it was, first of all, when I did my first game at home, I was doing the warming up and I was stretching a little bit. And then I looked in the stadium and I see a lot of people. And then I watched another time up, but there was another ring with crazy Inter fans. So that gave me really a good feeling. And they were shouting my name. It was an amazing feeling. It's unpayable. It was really, really nice to see that I could play for a big team like Inter and in the stadium with these fantastic supporters.
The stadium at Ajax, I don't think is going to be much different. And I mentioned before, Kivu is going to go back there tomorrow.
Yeah.
He was the captain of the team, so I think, what is going to go through his head, do you think?
Well, of course, he wants to show that he is a good trainer because now he has a little bit the difficult start with Inter. Huh? He lost 2 games against Udinese and Juventus in the last minute. Then, but he wants to show, of course, he knows a lot of people. He's also playing against Heitinga, who he played with when they were young. So he wants to show that he's better than Heitinga, I think. So. Yeah, tomorrow we will see a good game between the team, but also the tactical thoughts between the trainers.
As a personality, what strikes about Kivu is, of course, I think, is charisma. Maybe because he was a captain of a team at Ajax, he's a natural leader, but he's down to earth, but yet is very straightforward. Something that probably is learned from the Dutch people. You mentioned once in one of your shows that Dutch people are very straightforward. I cannot agree more with you on that. You've met him when he was still, in his football career. Has he always been like that, a leader, somebody down to earth that looks
Yes.
you in the eye and says it as it is?
Yeah, yeah. At a young age, he was already a leader in the team. You saw him always coaching the team and always want to do everything for the team and help other players. So I think he was born as a leader, and that's why he's also now the trainer of Inter. I think he did only with Parma. He was a few months there. He did a good job, and then Inter took him because they know him. Of course, he played for Inter 7 years, so that's why. And everybody know he's a gentleman and he's a serious guy.
Yes, of course, I agree with you. Out of the 5 encounters I was mentioning before between Ajax and Inter, you were on the pitch for 2 of them. One with Kivu as well. Do you remember that? The more or less 2 decades ago. Do you remember, Andy, when it was, what happened there?
I know, no, I don't remember.
Look,
So
I don't remember. You
it
don't.
was no. Look, I still look great, eh?
Yeah, back then.
You're looking good, buddy. You're looking good. Looking good.
Look the hair. Oh, was already dead there. Oh, sorry. The hair was already gone there. So,
No,
but
okay.
it was a nice time. Really big team, and I didn't see this images. I've never seen it before.
Never seen before.
No,
You never do you watch
no.
do you watch the images back? Do you ever watch, whether it's Ajax or Inter? Do you watch your time back and watch your because some of the ability you had was incredible? And do you not? I don't know. I've never had it, but if it was me, I'd be watching it back, and I imagine.
Yeah.
No,
No,
you don't do that.
no. There's still supporters from Inter. They send me like the videos of the goal against Arsenal, and all that. But like the picture, also I saw yesterday on the Inter channel, Instagram, Zanetti and me. I never seen this before, so I make the screenshot and I I kept it in my album. So no, I never seen. I will contact Inter also to send me some images. It's really nice to see this back.
For sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
But there's also some images of you playing for the other team, for Ajax against Inter, on the pitch with Kivu in 2002 in the Champions League.
Yes.
What was it like? What was it like to be alongside Kivu at San Siro?
Yeah. No, I know that we always had difficult against Inter because they were we had a young team, but they were very professional already and strong team. And I think we never win against Inter. There's not a lot of games played against Inter
No.
also, but I knew we always had it difficult against because they have a lot of strong defenders and it was a good team.
The history of Ajax and Inter, which goes back to obviously the 70s, and I said before that we've had a lot of history.
Yeah.
Well, can I ask you about? There's 2 different cultures, really. If you look at the way Ajax are, and you look at almost what I would say before sort of the Velvet Revolution, with obviously you have Cruyff. That sort of a way of playing. Obviously, I know Van Gaal, and we're not going to go there, but that sort of there was always a way, and I still play that way. There's a way of playing and everything else. And with Inter, I'm not saying it's the same, but even now when you look at our team, which is immensely good on the counter attack, it simulates what we used to have, maybe even in the 60s under Herrera. So for me, Ajax Inter has always been. People might not think it's the biggest game in the world, but for me, it's a clash of culture, and it's because you
different
have this
styles.
free moving everything, and then you
Yeah.
have this very defiant defense with the counter-attacking structure. I just want to ask you, you've experienced both. Was it difficult to go from one to the other?
Yes, of course. Of course. Kijk, look, for me, it was like I was an attacker in Ajax. I was a winger. I was a striker. But then I came to Inter, and then I was they bought me as a striker, but as a right striker. But I was playing actually as a right midfielder, and I had to defend. I had to help my defenders. So when the team had the other team had the ball on the other side of the pitch, I had to come back at the second post of my goalkeeper. That was for me new, so I had to get used to that because I was an attacker, and then I had to run the whole pitch, and that was difficult for me. That's why I had in the beginning very problems with playing in Inter because I was an attacker, and they said to me also, yeah, you come here, you give crosses on Bobo Fieri, you be the right winger, and then we win a lot of things. But when I started to play on Cooper, Hector Cooper was the gaffer then, and he told me that with the meetings, you have to be back on the second post of our own keeper. If I did this to Koeman, one time I did it also. Koeman was my gaffer, and I was defending, and he was telling to me, "What the hell are you doing?" He said, "Why are you defending?" That's different,
Yeah.
He said, stay in front because then you keep your energy for making an attack or score a goal. So that was for me. I had to switch then at that moment, but later it went better and better. But yeah, it's a very different kind of tactic of playing a game.
Andy,
Yeah,
how
that's
would you see yourself in today's Inter if you were still 20 something years old and playing in today's Inter under Kivu? How would you see yourself?
yeah. Well, maybe I would be a wing back then. you know, that's now the kind of tactic they play with a wing back who's always coming over. And maybe I would play as a wing back, like Dumfries does now at
Exactly.
at Inter. So he's a very strong player, and I think I could do that also, like the way they play, how Inter plays now.
Do you agree, Richard? Is that what you see Andy doing modern Inter?
I think it's really difficult because obviously different ages and different times of as players change.
Yes,
One of the questions I was
exactly.
going to say was in that when we see that the game has changed so much, do you think that consistency of Ajax in the way that they continually keep the same structure? I mean, it works for them, surely. For me, when I look at them, I remember that game against when obviously Patrick Kluivert scored against Milan. Was it
Yeah,
95? Sorry for my
yeah,
bad
95. Yeah,
95, the 1-0 in Vienna.
yeah.
Obviously, that philosophy's never almost changed. I know there's been
No,
ruptures between the two, and I quite like that because I find it quite refreshing in modern football. Is this something
yeah.
that you see? Because I think with Inter as well, despite the different changes, and obviously Inter are a very different team. They've had some very big sparkling diamonds. They've obviously bought a lot of players like Kivu, like yourself, like Zlatan from Ajax.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
they still have that identity, and I think
Cut him
how
off!
important do you think
Andy, cut him
identity?
off, please!
Yeah, but you want to write a book or something?
Whoa, what was I What I said?
No, I know what you mean, but look, the way we play in Ajax is we keep playing like this. Maybe it changed a little bit, but we are a team, a country that has to sell players. So we always keep playing this tactic, and even the fans expect the way they play. Always, they want to play like this. If they don't, if a gaffer is not playing this way, Ajax always did. He has a problem. He will go. They want him to go there because this is the way Ajax plays, always football.
Andy, one question for you before we let you go to your own business.
Yeah.
lately I've seen you have your own show, so you're a TV host, so basically where it's called Andy in the Car, correct?
Yes.
Can you tell me how the idea came about and where do you actually drive to? Because I wouldn't have the skills to interview somebody while driving.
I want. You know what I do when I'm in Appiano Gentile, I will pick you up and we can drive there.
No, no, I don't think I will come on the car with you.
We go. No, I do a lot of interviews in my car. I've seen this for James Gordon.
Yeah.
He did that in America with Justin Bieber and all that. So I thought maybe this is not here yet in Holland. Also not with football players. So I started with the football players in Holland.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of people already in the car, like 400 people, and all famous like Koeman, Ruud Gullit, and Peter Bos, all important people. And now I want to go to international. I want to go in Europe. I want to get a lot of big players in my car, and then make a lot of fun also, and get to know the player behind the man behind the player. You know, you always see interviews after the game.
Yeah.
It's always about how the game went and this
Of
and that. But
course.
I want to show really the people how this man really is in life, what he does, and how he lives, and like that kind of stuff.
If there was the chance for you to do it to one of the Inter players now, who would you pick?
Yeah. Well, I would love to have Thuram or Lauro Martinez. Dumfries not, because Dumfries already came in my car.
Right.
Yeah, he was already in my car.
Was he
when
talkative?
He was a nice guy. He was playing for Sparta at that moment, I think, or Heerenveen. I don't remember. It's a long time ago. And but you can help me with
that,
players
yeah.
in my car from Inter. Yeah,
For sure, for sure.
Could I ask you very quickly just a short question?
yeah.
Who would you say that with Ajax and Inter, the two best players you played with at either club, if that's okay for me to ask that?
Yeah. And Ajax is, of course, I played also with Jari Liedmanen. He was a fantastic player from Finland. Of course, Zlatan. Zlatan was at that moment very young. He was only 18, but you could already see in the training what he could do as a player. The first time he had a lot of difficulties in Ajax, because he wants to show that he could play a lot of good, and he wanted to play three players. He make an action, and then he lost the ball. And then the supporters of Ajax were whispering to him, you know. And in training he showed already how good he really was, and we were all standing sometimes with our mouths open from, wow, what is he doing? This is amazing. And of course in Inter, Adriano was fantastic, and Zanetti also. We had Cannavaro. Look what a team we had there. It's not normal. Veron, I can call a lot of names. So, but I think in Inter, Zanetti and Adriano, really nice.
Amazing players. Amazing
team.
Amazing team, and I'm sure there will be plenty of emotions running tomorrow when we get back to the Champions League to kick off the first game of the season against Ajax. Andy, it was a pleasure having you, and please do come back. Please do come and knock on our door when you like.
Please.
I will do.
Bye to you both. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
See you.
Bye-bye.